Hello everyone! How we doing today? I hope everyone is doing well on this fine Sunday afternoon. We are back with more Danganronpa Antebellum Lockdown. I am so very excited. Let's see who we got today. Check up on voice trials. Hibiki's father, hi. Hope Mikey Mike saw that earlier. Hope everyone is doing well. So a little bit of a recap on last time. Basically, we got the motive pretty early. And it was basically that one of us is the warden. We get a warden's badge. So they get a lot of special privileges, like they have handcuffs, they can lock a room, they get to pick, oh yeah, every morning we get a condition and they get to pick between that. So the last one, for example, was we can either have restocks on food or restocks on medicine. And our warden, as selected by the game, was Alora. So she is our current warden, and she chose to restock the medicine. So we are trying to ration out our food at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of what's been going on. We're also holding like nightly meetings in case we decide we don't like what she's doing anymore and want to rebel. So I think without further ado, we can probably just hop on in. Make sure everything's looking good. All right, yeah, I think we're good to go. My calibration. There we go. The tapes? Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal with the... Oh, hello. There we go. I'm not sure what the deal with the tapes is at the moment. But, sorry, my cam's being funny. But, I have to assume they're like post-game because they reference things that happened in the game, so I can't like imagine they're not, but I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, we're at free time, and we've been doing those with Alora, so gonna go ahead and find our girl. Nobody's in the lounge? Okay. No fun little event, fortunately. Gosh, I always forget what cells are locked. Oh, Amelia. Yes, we do need to do Amelia as well. But let me just check around here. What the hell do you want? Yeah, we'll do it, I suppose. You know, they asked me to do this because I was kind of like her. Ooh. Who else? Kari. We were around a similar age, similar drive. Guess it was to send a message after everything that happened. I kind of wish they picked me more for my own merits. Like, you know, I taught myself Japanese from scratch. That is pretty impressive, I must say. Why do you feel the need to do that? You're Italian, are you not? We lived in Italy for a while, yeah, but when I was about 10, we moved to Japan so my dad could help with research at Hope's Peak. He tried to make sure I couldn't speak Japanese so I couldn't communicate or really advocate for myself. But I was always stubborn. I did what I could to learn it bit by bit. I'm pretty good at it now. I can even read most kanji. Congrats. Yeah, and before you know it, I'll even be able to read katakana. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And that's the real bitch they don't warn you about. First step, katakana. Next step, trigonometry or some shit. I don't know, I never did maths. But I will someday. Bragging about basic school knowledge. It's almost like talking to a little kid. I'm sure you will? Hell yeah, I will. Just you watch. I can make any subject my bitch. Anyway, beggars can't be choosers. I didn't think too hard on how they just wanted me to be emblematic of girls like Akari. I don't really think I was anything like her, but no one really knew anything about her. The world only started giving a shit about her after she was already dead. I just wanted to be part of something, I guess. Or maybe I wanted to make sure people give a shit about me while I was alive. Who knows? I didn't think too hard about it. I just took the offer. From Fu, of all people? I find that quite hard to believe. Yeah, me too. Anyway, I kinda wish they leaned into the fact my dad was an ultimate a bit more. I don't know why they don't. I feel like that would make the message stronger. They could just see what his bullshit caused, the real effects it had on real people. But they didn't want to dilute the message or make it seem too personal when, like, yeah, my issues with the system are a bit fucking personal. Sorry I can't be neutral on years of unchecked abuse. Am I fucking bad? That's a little harsh, don't you think? It's deserved if you ask me. Wait, so did you pick who got to be a part of this game? No, I didn't have any say in that, unfortunately. I could suggest people, but I don't know if they even considered them. Did anyone you suggest get in? One person. Who's that? It's fucking you, Shingu. Yeah, you. I don't think I want to talk to Amelia right now. She was like beating our ass when we first woke up here. She does not like us. Right, Alora. Oh. That makes my life easy, for once. Ah, Kutsuki. Was dinner to your liking? I was trying my best to make it satisfactory while taking care to ration what we had. I appreciate it might not be as fulfilling as you're used to, but please rest assured, you won't get ill. Kenneth, thank you for the 10. Thank you so much. I can overlook a lot of things, but one thing I can't forgive is the stupid decision to not tell Ismene the truth. What, would have been out of character for him to do so? I mean, I assume, yeah, that's why he didn't tell her, because it just wasn't his character. Shinku has, at least to my knowledge, always been very much a coward. He doesn't like facing things head on. He just likes to ignore his problems, and I think that was kind of emblematic of his flaw, so yeah, I would say that was pretty much his character. Thanks, I do appreciate it. I'm feeling a little tired, but I always do so. I don't think it's the food. Well, if it persists, do let me know. I'm sure I could find something to help with that. Thanks. Is something the matter, Kutsuki? You're acting like before. I'm sorry, or no, not at all. I guess let's apologize? What do you have to apologize for? I don't know, I just feel guilty. Do you have something to admit, Kutsuki? I couldn't tell her about the meetings, but it was clear to me she was just trying to help here. I think I'm just tired. I should get some rest. Yes, I believe. Oh, okay. I failed the quiz. All right, we gotta save scum. Can I go back to the main menu? I don't want to save over my old save. Oh, wrong save. LOL. I'm not gonna do Amelia's talk again since we already read it. Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's no nod at all, so it has to be just calling her out on it. You're acting just like before. Is there anything wrong with that? I suppose not. It's just a little strange to see. It's a bit bizarre how quickly you can go back to doing exactly as you were before. Sometimes it's necessary to put your own feelings and circumstances aside for the good of everyone. I just hope it won't turn out like before. Me too. Dr. Laney seemed a little stifled by what I said and returned to her washing up. I believe it may be best if I leave her alone right now. Alright, I guess we do have to lie? I was talking about throwing away the pin, not his sister. Yeah, no, I think that's what I was also referring to. No, not file 4, file 3. Alright, it's gotta be this one, surely. Alright. No, absolutely nothing's wrong. Well, that's good, but I do hope you wouldn't be afraid to disclose any issues you were potentially having to me. I will not judge anything you have to share. I think I'm just a bit tired. I need a rest. Well, I've just finished cleaning up all the dishes from our dinner. If you'd like, you're more than welcome to stay a while. Oh, well, he said I was tired in the last one, too. I guess this time she's just like, oh, but you can stay this time. It's been a while since we've talked privately, Kutsuki. Talking to you might also help me gauge how others are feeling about their measures and decisions I've taken today. Only if you're okay with sharing, of course. Yeah, sure. Wonderful. I appreciate it. I still wanted to see the best in Alora, even if she was intent on maintaining a certain level of distance. Given what she said the last time we talked, I got the impression that, despite her insistence she was fine as she did have a desire to reconnect with people on some level. Or at least, a desire to be human. It's still a little strange how quiet the prison is now without Taka. I knew he made a lot of noise, but I never thought I'd miss it quite as much as I do. He did have quite a presence, didn't he? I'm sorry for taking him away from everyone. I don't think I'm the person you need to apologize to. I know, but still, I found it quite hard to approach Santil and properly apologize. Seems they don't want to hear it. I can't say I blame them, but still. You know, there's someone other than them you need to apologize to. Is there someone in particular I'm missing? Yourself. He was your friend too, Alora. Even you can't deny that. I don't think I have the right to miss him half as much as I do, especially since I'm the reason he's no longer with us. If you didn't care about him, I doubt you'd be feeling half as much guilt as you do now. Didn't he say that last time? I feel like he said that before, or something like along those lines. He meant a lot to you, Alora. You're allowed to grieve, too. If you never give yourself the space to process how you feel about it all, you'll stay stuck in the past, just like you did with this is pot calling kettle a little bit, but he's not wrong. Maybe I want to stay in the past. It's certainly more comfortable than my present right now. I get that, but Alora, even if the present hurts, you have no idea what the future holds. Brighter things could be waiting for you. You're so stuck in the past, you'll never get to see them. Equally, the future could just be more of how I'm feeling now. I think anyone would prefer the past over this. Even if she wasn't willing to sit down and process it, I'd at least try to get her to talk about it. Maybe that could help. What do you think made you get so attached to him anyway? I honestly couldn't tell you. I guess he was just so different than anyone I'd really associated with in the past. I couldn't wrap my head around him. He was quite a spontaneous person. Unpredictable, but not in a bad way. I suppose when I was around him, I allowed myself to be normal, just for a little bit. He'd be blown away by anything I did. I felt no pressure to do anything exceptional to impress him. It didn't take much to excite him, huh? Anything and everything seemed to make his life light up somehow. Or at least elicited an often quite loud and dramatic reaction from him. It was infectious, really. Even in a situation as dark as this, seeing him gradually get his spark back seemed to fill my days with light and color. I owe him a lot. Without him, I think I surely would have given up escaping a lot earlier. He really was something. There really was no one else quite like him. He was so painfully and unapologetically human. So messy in that way. I suppose a foolish part of me envied him. Must be nice. Oh? Be that unrestrained. Be so direct. To act only on your own wishes. Okay. Computer, please. We might have to swap to a G. Well, we'll finish out this free time event. Maybe I thought through him I could feel more normal myself. Well, he was a little far from normal, but I get what you mean. I don't know if that was it, but I certainly tried to live through him at points, even if I didn't realize it at the moment. I saw strange amounts of myself in him. He really was full of surprises. There's no way. Well, it was different, but him wanting so desperately to get Santil back in his life, and to get that joy back, fix things there. I suppose it reminded me a little of how I felt about Lilith. I see. Obviously, Taka's yearning for Santil was quite different from what I felt for Lilith, but I could relate to that longing for more time, that reminiscing. So I wanted to do what I never got the chance to. Rekindle that friendship. Fix what was broken. I think that was sweet of you to do, no matter how you think about it. I thought I was doing what was best at the moment. I told myself it was just to reduce conflict, but in the end it was rather selfish. I wanted to feel even part of that happiness of rekindling something like that, even if it ended just as viciously. But didn't you already find at least part of that happiness through connecting with Taka himself? I'm unsure. I never let myself dwell on my own emotions and feelings. I suppose I was scared back then. That's the root of a lot of it, to be honest. My own fear. My previous grief made it terrifying, quite frankly, to properly connect with others, but even so, I did miss how content it made me feel. So, yes, I did seek it out through trying to give Taka that happiness and warmth I had become too scared to grasp. Perhaps, foolishly, I thought I could live that a little bit of life and connection I craved at a safe distance. It wouldn't be so detrimental. Damn. Okay, hang. There we go. That up. But then, of course, when he died, that little bit of connection you let yourself feel through him died with him, didn't it? In the end, I still got myself hurt despite all my attempts at distance. They were useless. I always knew that. I was just making excuses to not admit what I really wanted. Not only did I lose that sense of connection, but I lost a friend. All I have left now is my grief and a reminder that I've really learned nothing from Lilith. You always knew it was gonna hurt like this, didn't you? Of course I did. That's precisely why I made so many excuses to justify doing what I knew would inevitably bring me more pain. But you could have stopped this. You said yourself it might have been possible to keep Taka alive. It wasn't guaranteed, but you still made the choice not to try there, to let him go. Why? Especially when you knew how much his death would affect you. Just didn't want to make the same mistake I did with Lilith. I didn't want to prolong his suffering. Is that really all there is to it? She looked at me for a moment, her gaze faltering a little bit as she seemed to grow nervous. In part, I think... I always knew he was likely not going to survive. Terrible, lingering voice in my head told me that, inevitably, he was going to die. Didn't want to believe it, but he was physically weak. He was extremely trusting, and he had restrictions on him from his verdict. I knew, logically, he was a good option to target if you wanted to get away with it. And if I did have to treat him after the acid burns, he'd be extremely vulnerable, being practically restrained to the infirmary. And that's if he didn't die from his wounds anyway, despite my best efforts. I suppose I thought, at least if it was by my hands, I could have some say in how I lost him. I know that sounds horrible, but I thought it would make the loss easier to deal with. That it wouldn't blindside me as much. It wouldn't destroy me as much. And did that work? Alora looked at me in silence for a while, not answering my question, her eyes almost begging me to ask anything else. But I let us linger in the quiet until she finally let out a sigh, looking away. I really must sound no better than a child to you. I couldn't say anything myself. I didn't want to be a hypocrite. But it was depressing, watching Alora throw away her dolls so she'd never have to see them degrade again. I couldn't help but feel pity toward her, despite her actions. Of course she sounded like a child to me now. After all, you can never really become an adult if you weren't allowed to be a child first. Well, this is depressing. Her free time events are great, though. The night came upon me before I knew it, and the night meeting was already set to start. As apprehensive as I was about hosting them in Amelia's office, everyone else seemed to be comfortable talking. But I couldn't help but feel a bit put off by how much they were scrutinizing Dr. Elenius. I mean, everything she's doing right now is good. I think managing food and delegating tasks is a good idea in the situation, but I feel like this level of control could spiral into something really bad real quick. I don't like how she's pairing us up. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I think she's trying to split apart anyone she might potentially view as problematic together. It was fine with me. I had no issues working with Lyra. Yeah, I'll bet you didn't. Yeah, not gonna brag, but we're pretty much the dream team. But like, ugh. It's one thing to, you know, take charge of your dosage or whatever again. Like, sure, fine. I don't like it, but at least it's for your sake. But it's another thing to not let you sleep in my cell anymore. It's pissing me off. It's like she's trying to punish me. Why would she be doing that? She's got nothing in particular against you. She's probably just jealous that I rightfully got worthy and she didn't. She's taking it out on me and punishing me just to knock me down a peg. That's it. I don't think any of us particularly care about the votes anymore. Oh, that's rich coming from you. I really think you- oh, wrong voice. I really think you're being a little too harsh on her. She said over and over again that she clearly does want to help. Well, saying a bunch of words is one thing, but at the end of the day, your actions speak far, far louder than your words. I wasn't going to point out the irony of Asuga saying that, of all people, with Lyra and Ezekiel by their side, and Ismene not exactly by my side anymore. I'd get eaten alive if I said anything against them. Well, she hasn't taken any overly controlling actions, has she? But she has... Huh? What? What happened? This morning, when she pulled me out of her cell to get her help with breakfast, I told her to fuck off. I wasn't gonna do anything she asked. And before, she was like, you know, detached like she always is. But with that clinical politeness, that always pisses me off just a bit. When I made it clear I wasn't coming after a bitch, she just randomly switched up. She became more firm, like she couldn't afford for me not to come. It was kind of freaky. And in that stupid, firm, authoritative tone, she said, "It would be very easy to misplace Chatel's pills for the day. I advise you to be mature about this." What? That's... And she almost seemed surprised by how much that freaked me out. Like, what the hell did she expect me to say? That's a little concerning. A little? It could take one bad withdrawal for me to die. Zeke didn't even do anything particularly bad, and she's already coming out with that, and I don't like being used like that. My life isn't a bargaining chip. I'm not just leverage. I'm my own person. What the fuck? Are you surprised? She spent her whole life weighing people's values against one another. Of course she's not gonna stop now. Doctors are all like her. Give them a certificate and suddenly they think they're above everybody else. That's because they can save lives, they're also legal... That because they can save lives, they're also legally certified to play God. Your dad was a doctor? Yeah, he was the ultimate surgeon or whatever. Excuse me for asking this, then. Why did you join that ridiculous movement? Surely that meant he was well off. You must have been secured for life. I don't... Excuse me, Ismene, I don't think it was about the money. Not that that's any of your business, but it's not much of a life if you're constantly drugged out of your mind and stuck recovering from surgeries you didn't need. What the fuck? I don't want to get into it. All I can say is, you've got a title you can get away with pretty much anything. No reason for 06 to be an exception. Well, forgive me for thinking I'd be different. That she learned anything. Jesus Christ. Did anyone else experience anything like that? Shinku, you were paired with her today. Did anything bad happen? No, I didn't have anything like that happen to me. Of course she wouldn't treat you that way. You're the only person who still licks her acid-washed boots. Ezekiel. You give her far more patience than she deserves, but that's nothing new for you, is it? You didn't tell her about these meetings, did you? I didn't. I just... What Zeke brought up is concerning, yes, but at this stage, I think it's best we just try not to step out of line too much. I think she knows what she's doing here. Let's just see how things turn out before we decide to do anything drastic, alright? Her intentions are clearly good. I suppose we'll just have to see what tomorrow will bring. We should probably get going, it's pretty late. Oh, wait, before we go. Amelia, this is for you! Asuga placed the packet with the remaining marshmallows we hadn't roasted earlier on Amelia's desk, the warden blinking at it in surprise. What's this? Just a thanks for letting us use your office as a meeting spot. Plus a little preemptive apology for if we're too loud. Amelia picked one up cautiously. You were roasting these earlier, right? Saw it on the cameras. Yeah, that's, kinda what you do with marshmallows. I wouldn't know, I've never had them. What kind of sad life have you lived where you haven't had marshmallows? What kind of sad life have you lived where you get people to kill themselves to make yourself feel like a man? Holy shit. Amelia paused and let out a sigh after snapping back, leaning back and whipping out a lighter from her pocket to toast the marshmallow, not making eye contact with us. My dad didn't like me having too much sugar, and I never really thought to try him when I'd ran away. I assumed she was like his little human test subject. Even now, a lot of sweet stuff tastes a little overwhelming. I guess I'm just not used to it, or some shit like that. That's why I haven't had one. She waited until the edges were a bit charred. The cupboards were full of sugary garbage when we first arrived. Did you not think to try them then? Amelia mumbled something under her breath. I'll have to sneeze. What was that? She groaned a bit and flicked down her lighter sharply. I'm not allowed to leave this room. I just eat what's in the staff room, which is limited, but it keeps me alive. Okay? Happy? Good enough explanation? What the? Let's just stop talking. This isn't about me. She calmed down a little and popped the marshmallow into her mouth. So... It's good. See? I thought it'd be your thing. Feel free to keep the rest of them. I think the rest of us are pretty marshmallowed out from the campfire later. I will say, though, giving her food, of all things, probably isn't the greatest idea, since we kind of are on a very limited stock of that. Yeah, sure. Weren't you guys meant to be gone already? Oh, right, we're leaving now. Very well, I'll see you all in the morning. We all went to leave, but we were stopped just before we could. Wait. Thank you. I... appreciate it. Asuga shot Amelia a wide smile. Anytime. Okay, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Just get out. We all shuffled out. Felt a little silly to me how kind Asuga was being to Amelia, but oddly enough, the warden was surprisingly receptive to it. But I couldn't dwell on it for too long, so when we stepped out, we were greeted by a familiarly bizarre face. Hi, Fu. Ah, or the janitor. Well, okay. Wait, who? Okay. Now that's interesting. It's one thing to see so many of you together these days. Coming out of that room of all places? That's something else. Who the hell are you? It's him, the janitor. The one Dracul looked for. I do have a name, you know. Well, it's kind of scribbled out of your name tag, buddy, so... I'm not gonna tell you it, but I do have one. Can we call you Janny? Absolutely not. What's your problem? What in God's name were you all doing in here? I don't think it's any of your business, bucko. Oh, please don't tell me you're giving that wretched anti-ultimate parasite pity of all people. She's the last person who deserves that. How come she can't leave that room? Why are you asking me? She's higher up than I am, jurisdiction-wise. I have no idea. But I don't know why you'd be concerned, even if I knew. There's no point helping someone like her. Doesn't matter how thoughtful you are with her, she'll always hate you. Because you're all ultimates, in case you've forgotten. Dude, who even cares at this point? This is about life and death. At this point, I am far beyond caring about any stupid ultimate politics. I just want the people I care about alive. That takes admitting the system is kind of shitty, then I'd do it in a heartbeat. Everyone knows it sucks anyway, let's not pretend we don't. It's easy for an illegitimate sellout like you can say that. You never had any real talent. They just wanted to shut you up. But for the rest of you, come on, seriously? Grow up. These people hate you. They want you to suffer and kill one another, and they won't stop until all of you are dead or suffering in some capacity. All to send their precious little message. Don't let their insistence you're awful make you forget who you are. Make you turn away from the fact you are all ultimates. You're all special. You are chosen by the top of society itself to be everyone's hope. To fix things. To make life better. It's due to ultimates like us, primed and trained by those figureheads, that our system is as strong as it is. We're what keep the society together. Help maintain the status quo. But what's the point when the status quo keeps getting so many people hurt? Keeps failing people? It's clearly not working if so many people are so unhappy with ultimates. I don't know why you should care so much. You of all people benefit from this. Why would you want to support someone who embodies a movement that wants to strip away that happiness? The system will never fail you. It'll do nothing but help you. Do you really want to stop receiving those benefits? But it's not about that, is it? Don't get me wrong, I don't understand those anti-ultimate fools one bit, but personally, I don't enjoy my talent because it's recognition of my merit. Oh, personally, I enjoy my talent because it's recognition of my merit. It's absolute proof of my academic achievements. At the end of the day, everyone aims to hold on to their title for as long as possible for the sake of their legacy, do they not? To prove absolute mastery in a field? It was weird to hear Ismene so talkative again. These days, whenever I was around, she hardly talked at all. Oh, please, don't act like it's just a pride thing. You can act all knowable you want in public, but let's not act like part of why you want to keep your titles the benefits. No one could fault you for that. It's normal to want wealth. I do not know what life is like without it. And if you don't want to find out, you won't listen to anything that stupid child of a warden has to say. But I wouldn't care one bit if Hope's Peak reduced my funding. It's never been about that to me. Surely it's the same for everyone else. Being an ultimate is about status, absolute proof of your talent, of your success and hard work. Having such recognition is more valuable than any stipend. So, it's hardly a crime to be an ultimate, is it? To be proud of one's success? Secure in it? Of course not. Then, why don't we simply remove the funding the ultimates receive? That would quell those who are simply jealous, would it not? But then who on earth would even want to be an ultimate? It'd be worthless. But being an ultimate is a good thing. I worked my whole life to get where I am. It's meant to be something to be proud of. I was always told ultimates were the pinnacle of society and the pillars that held it together. We help people. So, why on earth are so many people angry that they'd be pushed into doing this? Normal people, not just jealous underachievers. Why should I feel guilty for being in a position I worked so hard to get to in the first place? 'Cause I always thought getting to this point, getting an ultimate, I thought that would make anyone the happiest they could ever be. But Takiko, her talent, it just made her miserable, didn't it? I don't get it. It was meant to help her. Why didn't it? What went wrong? Am I going to go wrong somewhere? Or am I just missing something? Am I hurting people somehow? I don't understand. You're not. Ugh, for God's sake, don't let them get to your head. See, this is the issue with giving someone like the warden pity. She puts all these confusing ideas in your head. Starts making you think you don't deserve what you've got. Don't listen to her if you know what's good for you. Oh boy. I don't think you should be listening to you either. Well, you won't have to in a moment. What's that mean to... Before Ezekiel could finish. Okay, well... Ah! Dragging 5 of you back is gonna be a pain. Better get more than a 3-minute break after this. Alright, we're going down. Could we... Why can't he just let us walk to our rooms? I'm sure they talked about it at some point, but I've forgotten. The Curious Case of Ismene Cersei. She has freckles?
I'm certainly not the one behind it. I have no reason to do it. I'm happy with my life. I wouldn't change a thing.
Are you happy?
I'm happy.
Are you?
I'm happy.
Liar.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. Is that such a crime? Can't you see that? I've got a perfect career. I've got a perfect reputation. I've got a fiance. I'm well respected, and my life turned out exactly how it was meant to. I've got everything I could ever want. My life is perfect. This should be far more than enough.
Then why are you so lonely?
Because I want to be alone. Being connected with others. Depending on others. Trusting others. It's never worked out for me in the past. Nobody stays for me. Nobody cares about me. Nobody would be willing to step up and stand up for me half as much as I would for them. At the end of the day, everyone's just dealing with me. Dealing with me because I'm smart. Because that's what makes me valuable. I don't want to fool myself into thinking someone cares just to be left again. Just to be hurt again. People always let me down when it matters most. Or suddenly decide they hate me without even telling me what I've done wrong in the first place. It doesn't make sense to me. I hate it. It's too much for me. So I'm happier on my own.
Are you?
I don't want to depend on anyone. I don't want to get hurt again. I don't want to get shattered again. I hate Shinku. I hate Dracul for doing what he did. I hate Dakota for abandoning me. I hate Molly. And I hate Mint. I hate that stupid, shameless girl. And everyone else in this prison who are just able to go on with their days and not be miserable. I hate my classmates. My fiancé. I hate Anthony. No matter who it is, it doesn't matter. They never stay. They never understand me. My connections end with me getting hurt. Or I just end up hurting them. I push them into things. I act harshly because I falsely believe I know right. I have no right to be close to anyone after what I pushed Molly into doing. Or after dumping all those strays in Takiko's cell just to maintain my own ego. I need to be perfect and clean all of the time. I cannot let silly interpersonal drama or emotions impede on that. Make me messy and irrational. My pride makes me disgusting. I shouldn't be around others. I'm too different, I'm too wrong, I'll never handle these things how I should, so what's the point of even trying? I can hardly make sense of myself, let alone others. Quite frankly, it's silly to think anything will be any different if I try again. I'll be alone for the rest of my life. I'd rather be lonely than have to deal with the pain of trying to understand people. Of being left again. It just makes sense to live life like this. It's logical. It's the smart choice.
What a smart girl.
But even knowing that's the logical way to live life, the way...
Sorry.
I don't want to be alone. I hate everything that comes with connecting with others, with how weak it makes me, with how irrational it makes me. But I can't stand being alone anymore. I hate it. I hate it so much. Why do I feel like this? Why can't I just shut myself off from others forever? I really don't deserve to have anyone stay with me. It's stupid. It's so imbecilic. Why do I want to keep getting hurt? I want others close despite everything.
You're scared.
I'm not!
You're scared of hurting them.
Can you blame me? It's all I seem to do. There's something deeply wrong with me. I know it. I just know it. Everyone just acts like I'm normal. But I'm nothing like anyone else. No one else makes sense to me. I hate the unspoken formalities, the subtleties. Why can't people just tell me what they think?
Yeah, the coding, the writing's on the wall. I understand, Ismene, I do.
I'd much rather take brutal honesty than the awful paranoia of not knowing what I've done wrong. I just want to be like everyone else.
Then you have to kill her.
I can't.
Why not?
Because if I'm not exceptional, if I don't at least have my intellect and knowledge to make up for everything else that's deeply wrong with me, to justify keeping me around, then I'm worthless.
And who decided that? Good tape. The tapes are so good. The tapes are awesome. Very early in the morning, like clockwork, I was awoken by a knock on my door from someone. On what is going? Troubleshooting the YouTube chat. On today's episode of Literally Nothing Wants to Work, apparently. Well, I'm just gonna hope that fixes itself. Anyway, I opened it, and to my surprise, standing there was... Is. Well, you could at least give it a try. Have you thought of that? You care about her. Maybe this could be my chance. I opened my mouth to speak, but before I could... Breakfast in the canteen. We're waiting for you. She then almost immediately turned to leave. Oh, wait. What? She turned to face me. She'd already gotten a good distance away from me and lingered where she was, eyes burning into me as I went to testify. But only one thing came out. You look different today. Well, you can't stay the same forever, can you? She left before I knew it. And I followed suit, making my way to the canteen, a heavy feeling in my chest. How was I meant to start making things right when it felt like I couldn't even understand her anymore? She wasn't willing to give me that chance in the first place. I didn't know what to do. I just wished this was easier. I was broken out of my train of thought when a particularly bizarre sight greeted me on one of the canteen tables. Are those fans? Like cooling fans? I found them in the library and decided to fix them up. Some of them were a bit broken. I figured the least I could do was provide compensation for everyone's labor and cooperation. Our rooms already have air conditioning, don't they? Given the nature of yesterday's condition, it's not out of the question, and they could revoke our collective rights soon. I figured I'd get ahead and provide everyone with these in preparation in case that happens. Besides, it could make sleeping easier for the corrupt prisoners among us, help circumvent their existing lack of access to air conditioning. Well, they wouldn't have to sleep in their own cells if you weren't making them. She's doing it for everyone's safety, Ezekiel, please. Like hell she is. It's for control. She just wants control over La. That's what this is all about. But aren't you doing the same thing? Huh? Hey now, do you honestly think we haven't noticed? Noticed what? Those marks? I have marks all over my arms, come on, it comes with using. Don't frame this to be something it's not. Last I checked, you don't inject those sort of substances into your wrists. Wait, hang on, what happened? It's nothing to worry about, Asu. I'm worrying. I'm not just gonna turn a blind eye to a friend getting hurt. No way. I can't anymore. Friend? Aren't we? It's not important. It was an accident. Oh, don't make excuses for him. It was. I didn't mean to. We were just arguing, you know? She was getting on my case for something or other, and I wanted to reassure her I knew what I was doing, that I wasn't gonna do anything stupid. I tried to grab her arm and grabbed a bit too tight. But it's like, whatever. I don't think it's really whatever. You should have been more careful. Let's just not make a big deal about it. It's between the two of us and we sorted it, alright? All the more reason the two of you could do with a bit of separation for a while. I think sleeping in your own cells will benefit both of you. Regardless, I've completed the ration plan going forward. I apologize if you feel a little hungry for the first few days. I'm sure you'll get used to it. Rest assured, it's enough to sustain you on. Guess at the very least, eating like this will get me that beach body in time for us to get out. Is that really the first thing your mind went to? If you feel too tired, then I do have a backup plan. I haven't rationed out a bottle of peanut oil I found, but if it's an emergency, we can do some shots of it to ensure we're hitting our daily recommended calories at the very least. That doesn't exactly sound the most tasty, but I guess it's better than nothing. Oh goodness, please don't tell me you've been cooking with that peanut oil. No, why do you ask? Are you allergic? Potentially. I didn't want to disclose it earlier for, well, obvious reasons. It would make her quite an easy target. But it should hardly be an issue if two people are overseeing cooking at all stages of the process. I see. Alright, we'll be sure to not use it for cooking then. Just for emergencies. Thank you. As we were talking, we were interrupted by a certain someone and the cat walking into the canteen. It's kinda cute seeing you all gathered here, my big happy prison family. Yeah, must be real nostalgic. It's about as functional as your actual one, huh? Wouldn't know, haven't seen him in years. I wonder why that is. Good to see you so prepared, though. Last time I saw this much organization in the prison, Taka was still alive. Ah, good times. Just tell us what the options are for today. So quick to the point. Gosh, you're no fun anymore. Can't fault anyone for just wanting to get down to business. Give it to him. Very well. Today's condition is about the next time there is a murder. You can either choose whoever kills next will not have to face trial, they'll get to leave for free, and the rest of you will have to keep living here. Or, if one person kills and wins a trial, two people get to leave. How romantic. Or platonic, whatever you kids are doing these days. Two people? But everyone else would still die, wouldn't they? Of course, but two survivors is better than one, ain't it? I mean, the first option is kind of objectively... you know what? This is tough, because, like... The first option, if you want people to survive, is objectively better, right? Because one person gets out for free, and then even if someone else, like, after they leave, murders and wins a trial, it's still a net 2 survivors. But if you don't want to incentivize any murder, like, whatsoever, then you might want to go with the second option, because you still have to win a trial, and that's gonna discourage people from killing. So I could probably see Alora choosing the second option, even if it's, like, kind of objectively... Like, it could still end up with one survivor where the other option guarantees at least 2. Versus, like, if we go with the second option, someone kills, loses the trial, then that perk is gone and you still get one survivor at the end. But I feel like Alora's gonna go with the second option. It doesn't matter. No one is going to kill either way. Even though I think option 1 is, like, smarter. As morbid as it sounds, the first option might be worth it. What? If someone was willing to sacrifice themselves, someone else would be able to leave without the rest of us getting hurt. And once that person was out of the game, they could inform the authorities of everything happening here and accelerate rescue efforts. That way, all of us but one could survive. There's no way they wouldn't account for that. They'd probably detain us or have some way of keeping us quiet the second we get out. Still, do we have any other options at this point? It's not worth thinking about. No one is going to die either way. I won't allow it. Even if someone agreed to it? Of course. Consensual or not, I'm not letting another person have the weight of being a killer on their conscience. Well, you could always do it yourself. Wouldn't be as heavy the second time, would it? Absolutely not. I'm not even humoring it. No one is killing. That's the end of it. I'll elect to choose the second condition. The trial and potential execution is the main deterrent stopping people from killing. At least if it's still in place, people will be less likely to do anything drastic. Yeah, see, I knew. That's your final decision? I'm certain. Very well. From now on, if someone succeeds and kills and succeeds in the trial, 2 people will get to leave this prison alive. Now that that's sorted, I'll get going. I have some admin bits to help Amelia with. Bye-bye. They didn't clarify if that accomplice gets executed. I assume not, but... The cat scattered away, but Fu remained in the canteen, watching us see the potential fallout of Dr. Elenius' decision. She seemed to let out a sigh of relief as the cat left. Well, at least it wasn't anything related to the physical condition of the prison. Grants us more time to get on top of the food situation without having to worry about anything else. Man, yeah, like from a meta perspective, we know this was the wrong choice, but... Certainly, all things considered, this is good. I suppose so, but I was a little apprehensive about whether this new condition might make the others consider killing. I mean, a lot of them had someone they'd likely want to save. Speaking of the food situation, I should give out assignments for everyone's tasks for the day. The sooner we can start on them, the better. Sentil, you'll be with me in the canteen. We're going to focus on preserving what fresh supplies we have left the best we can. Whether that be jarring, drying, freezing, we'll see what works best. I have to work with you. What, you looking for a replacement lab assistant after Blondie? We won't have to talk, we'll just have to work. I don't expect you to like it, I apologize. But it's important we rotate who's working with who. Chitel, Kutsuki, I've harvested what wheat we had stored in the gym. A contraption has been set up by one of the treadmills that should help grind it when you run on them. It's a little rudimentary, but I think it'll work. With any luck, we should be able to grind flour. Alright, sounds good to me. Alright, but I'm not the best runner. Couldn't you get someone more physically fit? I think some exercise would do you good mentally. Besides, others will be on grinding duty another day. Grinding duty? I mean, that's one way to repopulate the Thank you, Chitel. I think that's more than enough commentary from you. Wait, but that means the only person left for me to be paired up with is... Yes, you and Elias will be maintaining the vegetable patches today. No way. I'm not working with her. Discounting the fact she's, you know, Isabel. I'll bet she's never even touched dirt in her life. I doubt you're exactly a horticultural expert yourself, Elias. The fuck has horticulture got to do with farming? See, you know nothing. Oh, for goodness sakes, Ezekiel. I suppose, I hope you can put your differences aside and work together for the sake of our wider survival. I'm certain if you're really struggling with your task, someone will provide help. Dr. Lance's eyes darted toward Fu in the corner of the room, who gave her a small smile. Now, I'll let everyone get to work, and if we're all successful, then I'll be sure to provide compensation tomorrow, much like I did with the fans. We'll reconvene here in a few hours. Thank you once again for your continued compliance here. And with that, we all disperse to work on our own tasks, going our own separate ways. These comments crazy. I made my way to the gym with Lyra. I felt a little more at ease with her than the others, admittedly. Maybe being one of the few prisoners who have given Dr. Elenius any grace since what she did to Taka had some benefits. Maybe she was partnering up with people I did get along with. I was also wondering if this task was originally planned for Ezekiel and Lyra due to the physical nature, but Dr. Elenius decided to separate them, given everything. I couldn't help but be a bit worried about that whole situation. Ezekiel really wasn't a good influence on Lyra. Alright, so one of us needs to be running, one of us needs to be putting the grain in and funneling the flour out. As I said, I'm not much of a runner, and I don't feel like sweating my foundation off. We can take turns, okay? Alright, that works. Took a few turns swapping around, running for some of it, sorting out the... I assume that's a typo and meant to say grain for another part of it. sorting out the brain. It struck me a little weird how quiet Lyra was throughout all of it. Usually she'd be making all sorts of quips or poking fun at me for not being fit enough to run for too long. But today, she was oddly quiet. Do you think we ground enough? I don't know. Some of this isn't looking too fine. Think we're gonna have to do more grinding? Might be a wise idea. I can get on if you're too tired. Okay, what's the matter? Huh? I practically gave you that one with grinding, and you'd usually turn that into some profane joke or something. I don't know, it's just everything this morning paired with your behavior now. Are you okay? Oh, I know it's bad when Shinku Kutsuki is asking if I'm okay. Lyra, I'm trying to help here. I know, sorry. I'm being an ass. I guess, I don't know, it's been weird lately. Lots of ups and downs. At first, I thought it was just from the withdrawals, but then I went back on my usual dose, and I still felt the same. Has it gotten any better now Dr. Lanius is controlling your dose? I don't think it's anything to do with the drugs at this point. I think I finally sorta woken up, if that makes sense. Huh? Everything Takiko said. How she was brought to that point. All that filling in for other people, shaping herself to be what others wanted. I've been doing the same my whole life. Just being whatever I thought was easiest at the moment. Trying to be the ideal for all the guys I was with. And I'd feel like shit for it. I'd feel like I was manipulating and tricking them every time. But I still did it. But I can't do it forever, can I? Takiko made that obvious. The idea of being genuine, taking things seriously, not just hiding behind irony and disconnecting from it all. That sounds terrifying. I don't want to be vulnerable. No way. But at the same time... Ugh, this is gonna sound so stupid. Hey, I'm sure I've said my fair share of stupid stuff to you myself. Oh, more than enough, let me tell you that. For the first time in my life, it feels like I have people who genuinely do care about me. Who aren't just trying to get out of me. They're so honest to me, patient with me, and it pisses me off when they start acting like all this verdict stuff get to their head and start acting like something they're not. I don't want some inflated ego or someone who believes they're morally above everyone else here. I just want them. I want my friends. But it's hypocritical of me to expect that from them when I can't even be honest with them unless I'm so falling over myself drunk or high that I don't even know what I'm saying. It's easy enough to fuck up your life when you're the only person you're letting down, but it makes you feel completely shitty when you actually have people who you care about who screwing up is going to affect. Maybe that's why this hurts so much. Since I know something has to change here. I want to change. And that's scary in itself. Yes. The past, if I was ever hurt or, you know, a guy managed to bruise me, I'd kinda just shrug it off. I'd think I deserved it. And that's exactly what I got for using that guy for one thing or another. I felt like I was just a horrible woman who used people and didn't deserve any sympathy if that sort of thing happened to me. But if Asuka heard me say that about myself, I think they'd kill me. And how am I even using Zeke now that everyone else is helping me? He clearly needs me more than I ever needed him. So now it's just kinda... feels different. Feels worse. I know he didn't mean to. He grabbed onto me so tightly because he was so scared of losing me. But somehow, that's even more terrifying. One of that duo is not looking good. Damn, I must really not make any sense to you, do I? No one's making all that much sense to me these days. If you don't mind me asking, what were you two arguing about? How much of an asshole he's being? Oh, that was pleasantly surprising. Oh, don't look so fucking smug about it. I'm not just going to leap into your arms now. I wasn't hoping you would. Well, good, because it's not happening. But ever since that stupid verdict, he's been on a power trip. It's so stupid and childish. All this going on about how he can fix everything and protect me makes me gag. I don't want him to be like all those other guys. I want him to be himself, and his stupid, fragile ego is getting in the way of that. He can keep going on this high for as long as he likes, but he keeps going as he is. When he inevitably crashes, he's going to hate himself. And he knows that too. Are you sure? He's not the most self-aware guy. You should have seen his face. When he realized how hard he grabbed me, how little it took for him to hurt someone impulsively, even accidentally. He was horrified. I just hope he gets some sense into him before he does something really stupid. Or before someone gets more hurt. I think it's best I keep my distance from him for a bit. I just hope that doesn't make him freak out. Is that what you want to do? I'm not really sure what I want to do anymore. But I'm not worried about that. It's really nice. It's nice, really. I could do anything. I guess all I can really do now is take things as they come and try and move forward differently. Something's gotta change, but maybe that's just something little. And with every little thing I change, maybe I can be a little more comfortable with being me. Whoever she may be. Maybe she'll be a cunt, maybe she'll serve cunt, who knows? But my friends seem to like her, so I think she's someone worth caring about, too. I just hope your friends are a little more sensible in the future. I hope my friends get a fucking grip, because I promised myself I wouldn't leave them this time, and I'm not putting up with this for much longer. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you need to leave behind people you don't really want to be around. I know, but they've dealt with enough of my BS. I think it's only fair I'm patient with them through theirs. But it's in Zeke's hands now to decide if he wants to follow me at a safe distance down that path and get better, or try to run up to me and force me back in his direction and eventually end up alone. At this point, no one can make that change for him but himself. Just like I'm the only one who can really change myself. Even if it's terrifying and annoying. I really wish I'd sorted out all this bullshit a lot earlier. Well, better now than never? I think you need to start listening to your own advice a bit more. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, tell yourself that all you like, but get over it soon. Can't deal with all of you boys being stupid as hell. Let's just get what we grinded, gathered back up, and go to the canteen. It's almost lunch. Sounds like a plan to me, just be careful with it. It's pretty fine. It could very easily go everywhere. Yep, don't you worry. I got it. She gathered all the remaining grinded flour in the bag. We'd lumped the parts we'd already done in and tied it tightly, slinging it over her shoulder. All that work for not that much in the end, huh? You lose most of it in the air anyway. You gotta be careful with fine substances like this, especially when initially grinding it. As we began to walk out, Lyra opened her mouth once again. Hey, remember that time you thought the lines me and Zeke were doing was some mysterious poison or whatever? Let's talk about something else. Lyra, I need you to truth nuke, prayer circle. Very rustically grinded, pretty grainy flour in hand, we made our way back to the canteen to reconvene with the others. Weirdly enough, we seemed to be the ones in the best mood. We ate our fairly limited lunches together with an awkward tension in the air. Good work today, everyone. I'll see you all here again for dinner. Thanks for working so hard. I'll ensure I have something to reward you with tomorrow. I appreciate your continued collaboration. Yeah, alright. Just make sure you switch up the pairs tomorrow. I'm not working with her again. Please. I'll cycle out the pairs as usual. Try not to fret. Cersei, Katsuki, you'll be on breakfast duty together tomorrow. Hearing that, I could always feel the pit in my stomach form. Take care for the rest of the day. Free time? Talking back to— oh, nope, someone's here. Christ's sake, I cannot stand that child of a man. Valid. It's bad enough having to tolerate his idiocy in those group meetings, but I bite my tongue for Asuga and Chatel's sake. Being forced to work with him is another thing. I just don't understand how he can be so unabashedly aware. How on earth did someone like him get voted as worthy? I thought the audience was half sensible, but the longer this game goes on, the more and more I start to find— Ismene suddenly cut herself off, almost as if she'd only just realized who she was complaining to. She stood there, a little stunned for a moment. Hey, if you need to talk, then— No, not to you. Before I could even say anything else, she already click-clacked away. It was all well and good to say nice words about improving or getting better or trying, but it just never seemed to work out for me. I hated it. And whose fault is that? Shinku is crazy. I'd set up the fan Dr. Elenius had rewarded us with in my room. I honestly appreciated it. I was starting to feel a little stuffy these last few days in my cell for some reason. But after that, I had a lot of time before dinner and the subsequent midnight meeting. I might as well find someone to talk to or someone to help out. Alright, let's... a little savey save. I think this is a good little spot to take our break. Grab a drink, grab something to eat, go to the bathroom, do whatever y'all need to do. And we'll be back for free time in just a few minutes. Maybe. Hello? My things will work. There we go. Alright, welcome back, welcome back. I hope everybody had a good break. We are doing free time, which means first we need to go find Amelia. Alright. Hi, Lyra. Oh, and Alora's right there. Perfect. Very convenient. Yeah. Wait. Oh, shoot. It's gonna be a repeat because I didn't actually trigger it last time. Maybe. Oh well. For next time. Oh, Alora! Butsuki, it's good to see you out of your cell. I'm glad to see you and Chattel were able to work fairly well with one another. It's good to see one of the pairings I selected today worked, at the very least. I'm guessing the others didn't go great? Well, Cersei and Elias went exactly as you'd expect. I thought perhaps they'd be able to find some sort of common ground, but if they can't read. I thought perhaps they'd be able to find some sort of common ground if they were forced to work towards something for the greater good. But unfortunately, it seems that conflict is something they'll require a more hands-on intervention to resolve. As for me and Santil, I'm not sure what I expected. Perhaps that was just some naive part of me that thought we might be able to reconcile a little over our shared memories of him. I think it's a little too soon for that. I suppose I just wanted someone who would understand what he was like. And on another level, I feel obligated to try and help them, for Takiko's sake. But I don't believe they'll ever forgive me. No matter what I try to say, no matter how many bugs I collect for those frogs. It appears they want me to be swallowed up more than the bugs. I think that would make them happy. I cannot fault them for that. Honestly, as silly as it sounds, I do envy the bugs that get eaten up by those frogs. Bugs cannot feel pain. Their lives are so short, there would be no point. Pain is supposed to help us avoid death. So, why is it that often pain is what drives people to seek death? Bugs' lives have no value, just be patient. I'm still figuring that out for myself. Perhaps we both have a lot to learn. Regardless, all I can do now is keep breathing and make sure the rest of you stay living as well. Dismissed us? Okay. We gotta save scum. Which means I need to do Amelia's again and then save. Okay. Lesson learned. Whee! Let's go, Shinku. Oops. Chop chop, author boy. Yeah. Okay. Then we will save. Okay. And then talk to Alora. Bugs' lives have no value, just be patient. I could honestly see it being any of these, so I guess we'll just do bugs. Huh? Bugs have little value. They exist to get eaten, to support ecosystem, to just be part of the process. But you do have value. That's why you feel pain. To remind you that you're alive, that you're human, that you can feel pain. And that pain is a reminder of your body trying to stay alive, trying to call out for help even as it crushes you. A body that wants to live in spite of it, because it's got a valuable life ahead of it. Yes, I still have things I need to do. People still need me. And I want you alive. I want to see you escape that pain. So, even if Asuka isn't ready to talk to you, to give you that chance, I want to give it to you. Because I know you can grow, I just don't think you'll be able to do it when you're stuck in your head like that. I appreciate it, Kutsuki. If you'd like, I have a free moment now. You are free to stay and talk. Alright, let's do it. I'd like that. Me too. I couldn't help but feel pity for the woman I once admired and respected so much. Before, I admired her unbreaking work ethic, but now I could see how fragile she truly was at the core of things. Someone who I once viewed as being unable to be shaken by anything thrown her way had been completely and utterly destroyed by grief. I wondered, really, if we were one and the same at the end of the day. But maybe the worst part of it all was seeing how messily she handled it made me feel better about myself in comparison. Are things feeling any better today for you? I try not to dwell on it too hard. I feel it would be too much if I did. Grief only becomes completely unbearable if you try and hide away from it. You'll never work through it that way. I'll process it when we're not in a situation where there's so much on the line. But you never even tried to process it, did you? Even before the game, you didn't give yourself time to process Lilith's passing, you just tried to fix it however you could. Can you blame me? I had work to continue. I had people who depended on me, who needed me to keep moving forward. Besides, how could I ever move on from knowing the part I had in it? She must have meant a lot to you, especially if you managed to get attached to her despite trying to detach yourself from your work. Indeed. It's quite silly, isn't it? What made her so special? I'm just trying to understand here. I suppose it was everything. Unlike the others, she was rather talkative. I saw a lot for myself in her, I believe. She struck me as someone who'd always been quite lonely. She was quiet, contemplative, but polite. There was just something about the way she had so much trust in me, even knowing we were the same age. I felt a lot of responsibility over her. I didn't want to let her down. She always just assumed I knew best. All that faith in me. I didn't want to let her down. It was quite funny, really. I always felt pressure to impress those older than me above all else, but I felt similar pressure with her, even though she was my age. I suppose it just felt more personal. I felt I had something to prove to her, despite all the faith she had in me. I see. I just don't know how you could be so close to her and not admit to her you weren't really meant to be actually treating her. That you were going behind upper management's backs to do so. I think she always knew something was up. She was a lot quicker to ask questions. Sometimes it felt like she resented me. I still remember the way she'd so kindly call me Doctor in that sing-songy soft tone, a small smile on her lips, but so much spite in her eyes. She liked getting under my skin, getting little bits of power back however she could. She always had a lot to say. She'd never be rude, but somehow that was what made it stick with you a lot more when she questioned your actions or made a comment of some sort about your behaviors. Wait, but hold on. You said before she had full faith in you. Yes, she did. But now you're saying she would constantly question your actions? That's not consistent. Well... And she was somehow both talkative and quiet? It seemed to change day to day. Did it? Admittedly, I can't quite recall. What? But she was... I know I should have a clearer memory, but everything from that time in my life all seems to become fuzzier the more time goes by. I can recall clear facts about her. Her name, her age, that she did ballet as a child before she fell ill. Her favorite food was macarons. She loved sparkling elderflower. I remember sneaking those things in for her. She had a soft spot for butterflies. There was a famous butterfly house in Stockholm she wished to visit before she passed, but she was too ill to undergo the journey. Her parents had another child after her and were able to move on fairly happily. She didn't like that, her mother getting pregnant again. I remember her talking bitterly about it, about how it only made sense to get a new doll if your old one was broken beyond repair. But, admittedly, anything outside the objective facts is fuzzy. It all gets rather muddled after a while. You'd think having a constant reminder of her speaking to you would make it harder to forget, But I guess it's nothing like the real Lilith. That was very clear to me at the start. I felt pathetic when I first started relying on the earpiece. It was really nothing like her. I told myself I just needed it for the little moments when it was right. But over time, when it was and wasn't right, it became less and less clear to me. After a while, I just started thinking about the two as one and the same. But they're not, come on. You can't replace a living, breathing person with a machine. She couldn't be gone. I needed her. I really did. She'd made me so dependent on her. She brought so much color into my life. I couldn't lose that. So I just told myself it was her, eventually. If that warped the perception of my old memories of her, then so be it. At least I still had parts of her. At least all my memories with her were objectively recorded in her programming. That's not... It's what I felt I had to do to cope. It's just going to hurt you in the process as well, though. I know you care about her, Alora. That's more than clear. If you didn't, you wouldn't have done all of this in the first place. But if you care about her like you say, wouldn't you want to keep your memories of her intact? Not warp them like this? Alora, this isn't normal. Well, we've already long established I cannot maintain any sense of normal human connection, so I don't believe it's any of your concern. All this has shown me is it's better I don't give my liberty of believing I could maintain anything with someone else. You don't have to concern yourself with me hurting anyone else. I'm fine being alone if it means no one will be hurt by my behavior. So what? Are you gonna stay in your own head forever? Only talking to fake voices that degrade and rot away at the memories you do have of being cared about? The only person I harm by doing that is me. I'm fine with that. Lilith deserves better than that, and you know it. Kutsuki, do not talk about someone you didn't know. You could not possibly know what's best for her. Neither could you. You hardly know her yourself anymore. You don't know what parts of her are real and what parts of your memories are being warped by that AI. You're doing the same thing you did with your crime here. And with Taka. You're thinking you know best, even when you don't. And because of it, you'll destroy whatever you do have left of Lilith, bit by bit. You'll destroy the past you did have with her. Is that what you want? It's as I said. I'd rather stay in a past where I was right than confront the weight of being wrong now, especially when there's so much on the line. Seems like there's always a lot on the line for you. I don't want anyone else here to die. That's fairly reasonable if you ask me. If I need to stay in the past, if I need to degrade it to keep peace of mind, to keep moving, then that's what I'll do. One day, when you've lost every true memory you did have with Lilith and realize you don't even know who she is anymore, you'll regret this. And I don't want you to feel like that, Alora. I want you to be able to move past this, to grow. But right now, it sounds to me like you're scared to confront what you did wrong. Do not be mistaken, Kutsuki. I'm more than aware. You're just hiding in your own fantasies because it's more comfortable. Just like Dracul and Molly did. And you know what happened to Dracul when he stayed in them. Do you want that to happen to you? I've made my choice. I'll stick with it to the end. And maybe you're right about not getting attached to anyone. At least that way no one will have to inevitably mourn you. Damn! Admittedly, I was overly cruel to Alora. It just frustrated me how stubborn she was about this. About thinking she knew best in the situation. It frustrated me how she both seemed to only care about her own preservation and yet have no care for her own future. How willing she was to degrade the memory of someone she cared about in order to not have to think about her own actions. Maybe that's why I cared so much. We really were one and the same. The evening meeting snuck up on us before we knew it, but for the third time in a row, we all found ourselves huddled in Amelia's office in the middle of the office. One prevailing feeling between all of us. Man, I'm tired. Tell me about it. Those small portions are fine, but eating so little really drains your energy, huh? Fucking exhausting, especially paired with all the labor we have to do. At least she's compensating us somehow? I'm sure the fans will come in handy. They're real strong. I feel like I'm gonna get blown away by them whenever I put them on. Why do I feel like this could be like a murder? A tool in a murder. No wonder. They are scrapped together from industrial ones, after all. Are you just joining in on our discussions now? Oi, you're in my office. If I want to speak, then I will. Got it? This whole arrangement is ridiculous. At least no one encountered any major issues today, right? Guess not, but the parents today didn't exactly make workin' peachy, I'll say that. Tell me about it. It's bad enough having to be around her every mealtime, but working with her was a whole other thing. They're always so harsh on her. She's not trying to make our lives any harder. Yeah, was working with her today okay, Asu? I got the preserving done, but it wasn't great. She keeps trying to connect with me over Taka, keeps bringing it up, and I don't want to hear any of that from her. Especially not when she's wearing that stupid earpiece he died over. I still don't get why she hasn't taken it off. She must be afraid. That's hardly an excuse, though, is it? Her verdict means she has no one else. No wonder she's willing to stay stuck in her stupid fantasies. Reality's rejected her. But it's the weirdest thing ever. Sometimes she'd say things to me that sounded completely not like her. It's like she's trying to sound like Taka. It was just freaky. I don't want that. I don't want another Taka. I don't want only her to talk about him with. No one could be a replacement for him. I couldn't use anyone as a replacement for him. Using others in that way is just gonna hurt them. That's real weird. But she was trying to make an effort, wasn't she? I don't think she was doing it maliciously. I understand you're all upset. Why Amelia, like, seemed really taken aback by that. That was kind of strange. Trust me, you've got more than enough reason to be. But that doesn't mean everything she's trying to do is malicious. If you never give her that chance, she'll never grow. She's clearly trying to help here. She's trying to gain everyone's trust and keep us alive. We constantly think the worst of her, we're never gonna get anywhere. Why are you always so quick to defend her? I'm not, I just think you're all being a bit too harsh here. If you go in thinking everything someone does is malicious, then you're gonna see harm where there is none. Everything they do will seem awful to you, no matter what it is. And that's just gonna cause tension to build up here. If we listen to her, I'm sure we'll stay safe. Just give her that chance. But why should we give her that second chance? It's not like she's the only one who can organize everything and lead us. She's not the only one who can act as an authority on what to do to keep us alive as long as possible. She's just asserted herself back into that role because of the stupid warden motive. Don't make that let you forget she's no better than a stupid, immature child at the end of the day. She's just making decisions on all our behalves, just like she did before. Her making decisions on what's best has got Taka killed. It'll get us all killed if we're not careful. Asuka, please, aren't you being... I'm not being unreasonable. You give her too much leverage here, just get comfortable being told what to do, then eventually you'll let her make a decision that'll get someone seriously hurt. If you need someone to listen to and follow that badly, then listen to me. I can guide us all here. I can help us make it through this alive. Asuka's somewhat authoritative tone turned softer as she offered that, extending a hand. Let me use my worthy verdict to help us all here. Make these circumstances something we all go through together. You don't need her. We can do things better. Trust me. How warm their tones sounded, I almost completely backed down, but I couldn't help but feel a bit uneasy about this all. Seriously, consider your options. You're either with us or you're out. You want to bootlick that murderer? Be my guest, but I know who I'd rather listen to. This feels a little too extreme. Let's just see how things go for a bit longer, alright? No one else had any major issues with her today, did they? Aside from the pairings, no. Yeah, I mean, not anything aside from the usual bullshit yet, but what Asu brought up was a bit concerning. Just keep an eye on what she's doing. The pairs are on purpose. She's trying to divide us and strain the relationships we do have to keep us from uniting. Because she knows if we did come together, warden motive or not, we could find a way to usurp her authority easily. So don't let her get to you, okay? Be wise about this. Asuka looked at me and Ismene in silence for a bit. It felt a little intimidating, honestly. We stayed in silence for a little bit before Lyra eventually spoke up. that everything? I'm getting a major headache from being on a lower dose paired with smaller portions. If there's nothing else to discuss, I might just crash. Oh, yeah, you're free to go. Are you gonna be okay? I'll be good, don't you worry. Need help getting you back to your cell? No thanks. See you all tomorrow. Lyra left the meeting early. I was a bit apprehensive about her walking back alone when it was this dark, but I couldn't say I blamed her with how tense things had gotten between me and Asuga earlier. I think it's good she's getting off that nonsense, but I do worry about Alora holding her withdrawal dosage over her. I don't think Dr. Elenius would follow through on doing that. It must have been an empty threat. You'd be surprised. When you've got someone's life in your hands, people find it very easy to abuse. Because at the end of the day, we all just want to still be alive, no matter what. Even if we hate ourselves, most people still want to keep going. And if there's one thing people love, especially when they've not got much else going on, it's control. Yes, so. Thanks for letting us use your office again, Amelia. Sorry, I don't have anything special to give you this time. That's fine. I don't particularly want gifts from tax-leeching ultimates like yourself. That would go against all my principles. For Christ's sake, it was just a marshmallow. Don't be ridiculous. All you silly anti-ultimaters are like this. Fall in with a bad crowd, starve yourself to the point of death, and will still bite any well-meaning hands that try to feed you. I'd much rather fall in with people who don't have any resources but want change than have to crash in ultimate-owned homeless shelters, and suck up and be a PR tool to boost some out-of-touch ultimate's ego. Now that would really be falling in with a bad crowd. Surely you could just go to one that's not owned by ultimates? I don't think you understand how uncommon those are these days. They've made it so we're reliant on you, no matter what. I knew the government shut down most government-owned welfare programs in favor of ultimates being expected to create and support their own a few years back. That was meant to be a good thing, wasn't it? Ultimates were closer to regular people than out-of-touch government officials, so it was putting power back in the hands of those who knew it was needed. Surely it couldn't be that bad. It's why so many people fall into the anti-ultimate movement. Food isn't as good, and a roof over your head isn't guaranteed. You don't have to suck up to anyone. And if life was rougher with them than it ever was stuck at the hospital, I was happier. Because for the first time in my life, I finally had a sense of community. I guess, sometimes, it was even like having a family. Never mind, I don't know why I'm bothering to tell you any of this. It's not like you're gonna listen. You never do. If you're done here, get out. Right, of course. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we have a little more energy then. Yeah, sure. We stepped out of the office and lingered in the hallway for a moment, all trying to muster the energy to go back to our cells. But, as we were standing outside Amelia's office, Asuga spoke up once more. Well, I think that's a wrap, huh?
Oh, but before we head to bed, if I could just do one thing on Lyra's behalf.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah? What is it, Asu?
Asuga rose to their tiptoes and did something I'd wanted to do for a very, very long time. He slapped Ezekiel clean across the face.
What? What the hell was that for?
Or as if you could argue back much further, Asuga looked at him with a much sharper gaze.
Get over yourself! You're acting no better than a little kid!
What's that meant to me?
She doesn't belong to you. She doesn't belong to anyone. The firmer you try to desperately hold on to her and force her to stay by your side, the more it's gonna make her want to leave. Get that through your head already. Grow up, or you're gonna be completely alone again. Do you want that?
No, but...
All this talk about how you don't deserve to be here, how you're above
Oh,
everything,
eat him up,
how it's
Asuga.
just the industry. Get real. You can't seriously believe any of that, can you?
Oh, I know you're not saying that.
Our situations are completely different. And if you can't see that, then you're completely hopeless. It doesn't matter how thick your sunglasses are, they won't protect you from how blinding your ego is.
Bars.
Tabo realized how silly everything was, blaming everything on the industry he was in, and he was better for it. So you can too. I'm not wasting time skipping around it and letting you keep going like this. I'm telling you as it is. And until you acknowledge that you're going to look no better than a little kid throwing a tantrum.
Yeah? That's no one's problem but my own.
No, because you're making it everyone's problem. And I care about you. Lyra cares about you too. She wants you to do better. I want you to do better. So, please, do better.
Asuka took a deep breath in and smiled at me and Ismene as she walked past us, leaving Ezekiel by the door to the office.
I'll see you all tomorrow. Hope you're able to sleep well. Let's try and sort things out and be on the same page from now on, okay?
And just like that, they left, leaving us dumbfounded.
Well...
Don't say anything.
As you wish. Sleep well, Ezekiel.
Ismene left, leaving me standing alone with Ezekiel, who had slumped his back against the wall and was sitting down. I looked at him for a moment, expecting him to yell some sort of profanity at me or threaten to do something if I didn't leave. But instead...
What am I even doing?
I paused, hearing the weakness in his voice. I could have potentially tried to reach out, connect, try to reach a level of understanding, maybe offer him some kind of comfort. I never even knew how to start with Ezekiel, so I just looked down at him and offered a few words.
I'll see you tomorrow, Ezekiel.
Perhaps that was overly cruel, but I think he needed some time to reflect. Interesting. Good stuff, good stuff. What I like about this cast is, like, no one is just, like, a fully good person. Everyone at least has some, like, something you can criticize them for that they're doing, and I really like that. Obviously, some people are more flawed than others, but I think it makes it interesting. As I settled into bed, as the stillness of night set in, I heard a quiet, steady knocking at my door. Fan on. Speaking of fans. Okay. I considered ignoring it for a moment, a terrible feeling arising in my gut. Ever since last trial, I'd been paranoid. I knew I wasn't exactly the most liked in the prison, if anyone was to target someone. Yet, perhaps part of me felt that if such a fate were to befall me, it might be deserved. Since, despite my better judgment, I approached the quiet knocking and slowly creaked open the door. And almost immediately, before I could do anything, stab! No. The girl who was standing, Lyra, outside my door, closed it behind her, holding the door handle tightly behind her back. Are you okay? I don't like how much screen time Lyra's getting. She looked away from me, her eyes not meeting mine, but there was a small smile on her face. Hey. Can I sleep in your cell tonight? If Alora finds out, she only said I couldn't sleep in Zeke's. Please? I don't want to be alone. I had a bad feeling about this, but there was something different in Lyra's eyes. I couldn't place my finger on quite what it meant, but for some reason... Alright. Great! Before I knew it, the girl slipped past me and climbed up the stairs, sitting on my bed. She stared at me for a moment before patting the spot next to her, tilting her head a bit. You coming or not? What? No, if you're taking the bed, I'll go on the floor or something. Why the hell would you do that? Well, you know, it just feels, well, you know. No clue what you mean. Get over here. I'd have to have some audacity to insist on crashing in your cell and then forcing you to sleep on the floor. Alright. I hesitantly made my way to the bed, laying down with Lyra. It all felt very, very strange.
Is this what you do with Zeke every night?
Why do you care?
I guess it's nice, not being alone.
It's very easy to feel alone here.
How can you possibly feel that way? You're surrounded by people constantly.
Funny, isn't it? I mean, you weren't always alone. You had Dracul, Molly, Iz. But even those days when you were surrounded by so much love, did you ever really feel fulfilled?
Guess I've never really thought about it. I just feel like something is missing now. I've always felt like something has been missing ever since I got here. I kept trying to fill in that hole with others, but...
Did it work?
No. It just made me feel more lonely in the end.
Lyra's gaze stayed on me. It was like she was expecting me to say more. And with that expectation on me, something was forced out of me that maybe I hadn't even realized myself.
The only time I really felt like things were going to get better wasn't when I was trying to fill that hole. It was when I met Molly. Not Maiko. When I met Molly. When we promised to grow together, when we tried to make something new. It was scary, it was imperfect, but that night, before she died, I really thought that we could... How on earth am I meant to feel like I have the right to grow when she never got the chance to? I hardly have the right.
When Mint died, I couldn't forgive myself.
But you didn't have anything to...
I couldn't forgive myself for being alive instead of him, that someone like me, someone who's got nothing waiting for them out there, survived over someone who had so much left for him. I tried to just double down, hope if I was careless enough that I'd get what was coming to me, get what I deserve. But I realize now how stupid thinking like that really is. I wasn't doing anything but making excuses for myself. I guess I can't blame myself, it was easiest. But he'd hate me for living like that. In the end, it was only up to me to make my life something worth something. To become someone who deserved to keep living when he couldn't, live the life he never got the chance to. I can tell myself all I'd like that he'd be judging me or pretend I don't deserve that chance, but in the end I can never know what anyone wanted me to be. Only I can really decide what to make of my life from here. Only you can too.
I think at this stage people would be upset if I gave myself that chance, if I treated myself with that much grace. I owe it to Ismene to be alone for breaking her trust.
You owe it to Ismene to do better. You owe it to everyone you've lost. Hell, you owe it to yourself.
I don't even know where to start to make things right. What's even left for someone like me?
I can't answer that for you. Hell, I don't really know what's left for someone like me. I guess I'll just have to find out.
And if it's somehow worse?
Then at least I gave it a try.
At this stage, I feel like I'd have to do something drastic to make up for anything. I don't even know how I could even start to get better without somehow pushing someone down again, using them to fill in the gaps left by someone else. I don't even mean to, it just happens, it just...
Well, if you're so convinced you can't change, if you think there's no way you can make it up to anyone... then kill me.
What?
It would be pretty easy, wouldn't it? My cell is right next to yours, you could strangle me right here and now, and just move my body back to my cell.
No one would have any idea what happened.
And with that motive, you could get Ismene out, couldn't you?
She'd hate me even more than she already does if I did that.
It's not like you're ever going to fix anything anyway. At least this way you'll give her a chance to live her life fully.
I suppose I've already broken her trust. Even if this would shatter it fully, it would save her, wouldn't it?
Shinku, bro, we cannot be considering this.
Maybe if I could save her, then that would start to make it up to.
Well,
I could practically feel my heart pounding out of my chest as I rolled over on my own. My head felt fuzzy. Shinku, bruh. Before I knew it, I was looking down at Lyra below me. You were doing so well this chapter. She looked so small like this, and yet... Shinku. Despite the resignation in her expression, there was something terrifyingly defiant in her eyes as her sharp gaze met mine. He's not gonna do it, but the fact he's even here is kind of crazy. It felt twisted, really, like I was a predator. Fox, shaking as it looked into the eyes of its prey. Stronger than I could ever be. Noticing my hesitation, she spoke to me.
is this your first time?
How could you be so calm?
I guess I assumed you'd have experience. But you're so shaky.
Anyone would be.
You've done it before, haven't you?
Killed someone.
I
can see it in your eyes. I'm not the first, am I? That's not just fear. That's guilt, isn't it?
I did it once before, in a way.
With who?
Molly. I smothered her just as much as Takiko did. All that coddling, all that thinking I knew better than her. Maybe if I'd let her take those steps sooner, she'd have been honest earlier. She'd have admitted it earlier. She'd have a chance to explain why a chance to stop that resentment from building. I just thought I knew best. But in the end, I'm part of why she's dead now. I deserve this pain I'm feeling now. I feel so much guilt. Not even just with Molly, but also with... But even knowing that, I still want to be happy despite everything, despite how selfish and undeserved that is. It sounds awful, I know, but...
Is that so?
Those awful blue mirrors of hers did not move from mine, reflecting a horrible coward that I just couldn't stand the sight of. I wanted to shatter them more than anything in the world.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. For having the strength to stop being a coward, to be a better person. Having what I could never have. I want you to be miserable. I want you to feel like I do now.
What am I even doing? What am I saying? What am I...
Do you think she felt like that too?
As she said that, all the sense I'd lost suddenly snapped back into place. I quickly moved my hands away from her neck, staring at them in disbelief.
What am I?
I moved away from Lyra quickly, my whole body shaking, overwhelmed with disgust that I'd even thought about killing her. I wasn't like that. I couldn't... But the fact I'd even considered it for a moment... There was something deeply wrong with me. I sat on the cold floor of my bedroom. Hardly breathe. I was practically hyperventilating, my mind moving at 100 miles per hour.
Thank you.
Looked up at her. She looked just as calm as ever. I had a million things I wanted to say, but the only thing that came out was...
Please kill me.
What?
Lyra, there is something deeply wrong with me. If you don't do it, I'm just going to hurt more people. I'm awful. I can't be normal, Lyra. I can't be trusted. Just stop me. Stop me before I do something that'll ruin everyone.
I couldn't possibly do that, and you know it.
What? Why not? I'm awful, please!
The fact you couldn't go through with it shows you're not entirely a lost cause. You're not ready to completely throw away your life. So take that part of you that couldn't do it, that couldn't be completely awful, and put in the work to change, goddammit!
You're right. I know. I'm just scared. What would you have done if If I was at that point, if I could do that.
I guess at least I gave it a try.
I need to change. I can't keep going like this.
Only just figuring that one out.
I knew before, but this was a bit of a wake-up call.
I think we all need one sometimes. Last trial, when Takiko was talking about changing herself and just being a replacement for others, I guess... I don't know. As I said earlier, it just hit a little close to home. I'm so used to twisting myself into whatever will get me what I want that I don't even really know who I am anymore. I think there's something wrong with me too.
Don't throw away your life either, Lyra. You're stronger. You couldn't even think about hurting me either, even when I was begging you. Why is that? Why are you being so patient with me? No one in this prison would blame you if you hurt me. You could have gotten yourself and Zeke out. Why are you giving me so much grace here?
I don't know. I guess I just wish that's what I got back in the day.
Lyra, why on earth do you act the way you do? Act like some careless, irredeemable egoist when clearly you're not. When clearly you are a good person. There are clearly good parts to you.
Both those things can be true, you know? I can be both deeply flawed and have done some really, really shitty things, but still have good parts to me. Parts worth loving.
But
I'm just me.
It's just, you confuse me.
I could ask you the same thing. Why is it that despite everything you've done, every shitty thing you said, every time you've treated someone a little badly, you still are able to empathize and want others to keep on living?
That's part of being human. Everyone's got good and bad parts to them. I'm just human.
Then why should I be any different?
You're not.
Sorry if I'm not saying much. I'm locked in. This is good dialogue.
You're not at all.
Why should anyone be any different?
Oh, God. I've been so stupid.
If I wasn't so much of a coward, I think I would have killed myself that night. This whole time, I've been so selective about grace, about seeing people in black and white when really, we're all deeply flawed creatures. All deeply drenched in the gray. And maybe, even if I hadn't done it until now, I could reach into that gray and embrace people for who they were. Not ignoring their flaws, but not condemning them entirely for their mistakes either. I could earn the right to get a hand extended to me once more. That night, I spent weak and vulnerable and confessing everything to Lyra. It was the first night in a long time that I'd lived not as the ultimate crime novelist, but as a human. As Shinku. As messy as a person he may be. We're good seeing. I mean, Lyra's the GOAT. Like, Lyra is so. Lyra and Alora are my top two, but Lyra is my favorite. Like, holy. She's so great. Alright, let's save. Oh, Shinku. I mean, yeah. Assuming what I assume is that anyone who has a tape at least makes it through the victim discovery. So we've had Alora, Ismene, Shinku was inevitable, unless we were gonna have like a protag switch, which I don't think is the case.
I went through my whole life thinking I was a good person.
Make your case for the jury. Okay, I'm gonna go on, like, some conspiracy theory bullshit right now. But they start each tape with saying, like, make your case for the jury. I am almost wondering if, like, I don't know if this is the last trial. I don't know if Chapter 4 is also a murder or not, but I'm almost wondering if, like, the audience is going to have to vote on who the killer is. Not the participants. I don't know. I'm almost imagining something like that. Or, like, if not that, you have to vote on whether or not this prisoner is worth being let out of the prison, maybe? You know, some final judgment. Because, you know, Antebellum does the whole voting thing. It's gotta be something crazy like that. But anyway.
I was special, sure, but I always tried to be modest. I was just happy to be an easy child, to not cause any trouble. It felt good to be praised. I was very content with my life. The only thing I had to worry about back in those days were deadlines. I lived a very simple life.
You were blind.
I want to go back to that sort of life sometimes. It's a lot easier being a little kid. Things made more sense. People made more sense. These days, it feels like nothing seems to work out for me, which is strange because I'm not doing anything different. I'm doing what I've always done, what I thought was good behavior.
Because you needed to grow.
I did. I became an adult. I think I'm fairly well adjusted.
Oh, okay. You're not moved out.
My parents wanted to support me. They didn't want me to suffer. So maybe that's why suffering so much now hits so much harder.
How narrow-minded.
Maybe everyone feels this much pain. I don't know. It's always hard to tell. Everyone's so different. But everything just piles up on me all at once, and I don't know what to do about it. Perhaps that's why I sympathize so much with Dr. Elenius or Asuga. Sometimes I just want to take the easiest option that'll save me from as much pain as possible, no matter the consequences. That's why I burnt the pin. I was scared. I didn't want to face my truth. I didn't want to get in trouble.
You were running.
No, I was just doing what everyone else would do.
You were running.
Fine, maybe I was. Everyone would. No one would want to have to face that. I just wanted to keep on living.
You couldn't face reality.
Of course I couldn't. It was awful. You don't have any idea how guilty I felt about it for weeks now.
So it's been weeks since you destroyed the pin.
How could anyone even keep
I guess that
breathing,
makes sense.
living, functioning with that on their back? It was impossible for me to keep going if I just kept thinking about it.
You're hiding.
I did what I had to keep living, to not just rot away and die. Maybe Dracul and Molly had the right idea all along. What's so wrong about running away from a reality as painful as this?
You know.
I don't care where it leads me. I'd rather be comfortable for a little bit and then dragged down to hell than have to face that pain every day. I just wanted things to be easier again, simpler again. I wanted my old life back. Why can't everything be as simple as that? Why can't people be simple? I don't want to have to think I wanted
Love.
I just wanted to be cared about.
You crave love. You crave validation. You crave warmth.
Is that such a bad thing? It's just human to not want to be alone.
Because you cannot give those things to yourself.
Because there's nothing in me to love. There's nothing good about me.
If you hate yourself, you cannot love.
But I want to be told I'm worth something, that I did the best I can.
If you hate yourself, you cannot trust others.
Why not? Why can't it just be easy? How am I meant to care about myself? No one else could even stand to be around me.
You cannot trust them not to leave.
Because they always do! No matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how I act, I just lose people. If they don't die or betray me in some way, they just end up leaving me down the line. I'm the reason for everything that happened to Akari. Mint dropped dead. Dracul murdered him. Despite having people here for him in the prison, he still murdered him. Molly was going to do better. We were going to become better people together, but she was taken from me before I got the chance. No matter what I try with Ismene, I've completely ruined things with her, and she can't even look me in the eyes these days. And if Ichi doesn't already secretly hate me, there's no way he'll look at me the same after my crime comes out. I'm completely alone no matter what. So what's even the point of trying if I'm just going to get hurt in the end?
Because you think there's nothing about you worth staying for.
I don't know what's wrong with me. How can I expect others to understand me, to connect with me, to find something worth anything in me? I can't even understand myself. But I keep searching for it every time. Someone to fill in the gaps. Easy validation as a band-aid solution so I can convince myself I wasn't so bad. But I'm a fool in the end. Because now everyone's left. Now there's no one to do that for me. I'm miserable. I hate myself.
Other people can't give you happiness.
I just want to be happy.
You have to find it yourself. All right, I think that's a pretty good stopping point for today. Goodness gracious, the tapes are awesome. They're definitely my favorite part. But that scene with Lyra was also really, really good. Right, I think chat is unfortunately busted because nothing wanted to work for me today, but at least the game and the stream did. So at this point, I will take what I can get. Let's do that. Scooch on over. All right. Well, good stuff. Very good stuff. I don't think my predictions have changed yet. I am concerned for the amount of screen time Lyra's getting today, but I'm hoping it will even out and other people will get a lot more screen time, and then I don't have to be worried anymore. Please, God, just let it be Zeke. I don't even hate Zeke. I really don't hate Zeke. I don't hate anybody who's left, but I just like Alora and Lyra a lot more. But yeah, I guess we will find out. I'm sure we still have a ways to go, so schedule will be up soon for next week. Who are our top 3? We have number 3, TG2513. Number 2, we have Mikey Mike. And at number 1, we have Kenneth. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank everybody for showing up. I really appreciate it as always. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your weekend and a good start to your week. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!